Hello everyone, and thank you for taking time to view my presentation. For this assignment, I chose to create a course that I believe would benefit and enrich primarily non-English majors. Let's just go over the course, some basic information. The course is called The Classics Revisited. My students at Cecil College inspired me to create this course for this assignment. I'm an adjunct professor in the English department at Cecil, and I currently teach English 102, which is a composition and literature course, and it's one of two required courses at the college. My belief is that they should require at least one other additional course. Cecil is a community college, and they have two campuses primarily. One is in Northeast Maryland, and the other is in Elkton, and they have over 100 programs that they offer to students, and all students have to take at least two English courses regardless of whatever program they have decided to pursue. But I believe that this course would be a great addition. I think that the college and the English department, they understand the value of English as a requirement in all fields of study. And so I do think that the addition of this course would definitely be beneficial for students who are pursuing any field of study there. Most of the students in the class that I recently taught are in their early 20s or their mid to late 30s. And what I found particularly interesting about these students is that they consistently tell me how much they enjoy reading the classics that have been covered in my course. And their rationale is that they're looking at the text with more mature eyes. They have a greater appreciation for literature in general and more of a vested interest in their learning now that they are adult learners. And that's precisely the rationale for this course. This course, Classics Revisited, like I said, I think should be a required English course for all students because I think two courses is not quite adequate rather. And I think the purpose of this course, the Classics Revisited, is to reintroduce some of these adult learners to some of the classic works of literature that they read in high school, but maybe quite didn't get or didn't really appreciate. I think this course will give them a deeper appreciation of these works of literature, as well as hone their reading and writing and critical thinking skills. Now let's take a look at the syllabus. Okay, if you look at the course description with me, as it says, this course will develop students' critical reading and writing and also thinking skills, and we'll be examining a variety of literary works that are often taught in secondary schools. And the purpose, again, is to reintroduce some of these classics to adult learners so that they have a fuller understanding and appreciation of these works. The course text that will be covered: To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Macbeth by William Shakespeare, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Dracula by Bram Stoker, and The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, all classic works of literature that are typically taught in high schools. Now, the methodology for this course, I plan to use a variety of teaching techniques, including direct instruction where applicable, but certainly allowing students the opportunity to work cooperatively, and discussions in person as well as through Blackboard discussion board. My grading policy is that late submissions will be docked 5% each day. No late assignments will be accepted more than 1 week past the original due date. I do want to encourage my students to revise their writing as often as possible and to also utilize resources at the college such as the Writing Center. So I do allow for revisions, and what I would do there is average the 2 grades. No exams. There will be 2 exams in the course. I'll go over that in a moment. No exams may be taken or writing assignments submitted after the course has ended, which is defined as the final exam date. As far as my expectations, I expect students to bring their course materials to class. This includes textbooks, a medium for note-taking, a folder to house any additional resources I might provide. I expect students to attend class every day, be on time, stay for the whole class, and I do a lot for some emergencies, so students have a little latitude in terms of missing class. Now let's take a look at the course schedule. So this would be a 15-week course or 16-week course with 1 week off for spring break. I think that this should be a spring semester course if possible. Week 1 We would simply get familiar with each other, review the course syllabus, and any key terminology that would be relevant to the course from there on out. And as you can see, I have dedicated approximately 2 weeks to each work, starting with To Kill a Mockingbird and ending with A Great Gatsby. The final exam would be given at the conclusion of the course. Now let's take a look at some assessments. These are the assessments in this course. Students would have 2 essays weighted at 20% each, conferences regarding their writing for a total of 5%. They will have in-class writing assignments weighted at 10%. Participation is key in person as well as via the discussion board. Each of those comprises 10% of the course grade. There will be a literary terms exam at 5% of the course grade, a group presentation at 10% of the course grade, and the final exam at the end for 10%. Now, in terms of how I will actually assess them in these various categories, this is an example of a discussion board rubric that I have used in the past and would use in this course. Students are graded in the categories of completion, the content of what they have posted, their organization of ideas and mechanics, the frequency with which they post. They have to respond to 2 classmates, and making sure that they always utilize respect in their responses to their classmates. Here is another rubric that I use and could potentially use in this course. This is for in-class essay writing assignments. The idea here is that students would have a limited amount of time when they come to class to respond to a prompt, type their response, and then upload that to Blackboard. So these would be done in class as opposed to out of class. And what I'm looking for is that they respond to all parts of the prompt, that they show me that they understand and they can effectively use the course readings to respond to the prompt, that their writing is coherent and well supported, that it's written well in terms of their syntax and diction. It reads like a collegiate paper, and their mechanics and grammar is sufficient as well. Okay, one of the things that I'm grading them on is a group presentation on one of the books covered in the course. And you can see here from the rubric that I'm looking for understanding of the subjects in the book, summary of the book, the craft and structure, in other words, how the book is written, theme, a thorough understanding of theme, and the presentation itself is smooth in terms of the speaking roles and the PowerPoint. Now, for the 2 major papers, the essay rubric that I use, it's quite extensive. It spans several pages, so I try to condense it here. You can see the categories at the top. They get a rating of excellent, good, satisfactory, poor, or unacceptable in each of the following areas: purpose, audience, development, content, organization, grammar, mechanics, and diction. And I would use this rubric for assessing both of the 2 major essays due in this course. Now, reflection. So after putting together this course, I looked back at the various course objectives that we as students in 7108 were given at the start of the course. And these are the ones that I think this project helped me grow in the most. The first one being identify current trends in undergraduate, graduate, and community college curricula. I think that teaching at the college level this past semester has definitely also assisted me with this, but the projects that we've had in this course, this one in particular, as well as the course readings, have definitely bolstered my understanding of these trends. The second one, understand the process of curriculum development, delivery, and assessment. Again, I think this project, having to go through the process of developing the course, thinking about methodology and assessments, definitely helps me understand this objective better. The third objective here, describe how the increasingly diverse students of today influence both curricular offerings and the delivery and assessment of that curriculum. Again, I think this project and our course readings have definitely helped me in this area. And then lastly, the influence of technology, understanding how it's changing curriculum and curriculum development, instruction, and assessment. I think that that's crucial as we continue to read in our books and course resources, technology is at the crux of course development these days, as it should be in the 21st century. Now this is a video on why literature is important, why read. And I think that it fits very nicely to this course. It definitely confirms my rationale for why a course like this is important. So take a look at that video. I appreciate it. It's only about 2 minutes And here are the references that I used for the project and this presentation. All right, thank you for listening and watching.